In 2018, a plot twist in a horror film is to be expected. It's rare now to see a film that doesn't leave viewers with their jaws in their laps because a movie was completely turned on its head. In the case of the films we listed today, they are just a handful of horrors that paved the way for the plot twist trope and have remained embedded in our brains since we first encountered them. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your host Lucy McPhee. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite horror plot twist is, and while you're there, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. Alright, let's jump into our list of the top 5 plot twists in horror films. And warning, there are a lot of spoilers. Like, I literally spoil every single movie on this list, so proceed with caution.
Key to that chain is in the bathtub.
In at 5, The Wicker Man. The 1973 British film, not the Nicolas Cage trash that we should never speak of, The Wicker Man follows Police Sergeant Neil Howie as he travels to an isolated summer isle in search of a missing girl. But as he arrives, he realizes the inhabitants are far more sinister than he initially thought. Abandoning Christianity, the group practice Celtic paganism, and after Howie discovers a series of photographs celebrating the annual harvest, with a young girl taking on the role as the May Queen, Howie fears the group intend on sacrificing the young girl in some sort of ritual. On the annual May Day celebration, Howie steals one of the islanders' costumes, disguising himself as Punch the Fool in order to infiltrate the celebration. When he does, he finds the young girl, getting her free and fleeing with her through a cave. But as they exit, they are ambushed and the girl happily returns to the people. It is then that we discover she was never the true sacrifice. Howie was. After the island leader, Lord Summerisle, tells Howie that he fits their god's 4 requirements, he came of his own free will, with the power of a king, aka represented by the law, is a virgin, and is a fool. The islanders then take Howie and tie him up inside a giant wicker man, setting it ablaze and letting him burn. As his death draws near, Howie curses the island and the wicker man collapses. In at 4, The Others. Now, I think we can all agree that this twist left us all with our hands covering our mouths. Honestly, over 17 years later, I'm still shook. The Others follows a family living in an isolated manor house, with the mother, Grace, played by Nicole Kidman, being forced to care for her 2 children who are plagued by an allergy to light. Grace hires 3 servants to help her with the house: Bertha Mills, Mr. Tuttle, and a mute girl named Lydia. Throughout the film, odd events begin to play out, such as the eldest child, Anne, claiming she has seen others in the house: a man, a woman, an old woman, and a young boy named Victor, even spooking her brother Nicholas by telling Victor to touch his cheek so he'll know that he's real, which he does. Grace begins to hear footsteps around the house and finding unlocked doors that were once locked. In one of the more intense scenes, Grace sees an old woman in one of the rooms and attacks her before realizing she has just attacked her daughter Anne. In the pinnacle scene, the children awake, screaming for their mother after all the curtains in the house have been removed, forcing Grace to banish the servants after accusing them of the act. After they leave, Bertha orders Mr. Tuttle to uncover the gravestones, which we learn they have been hiding from the family, leading us to believe they are the spirits tormenting the family. Later, the servants return, requesting to speak to the children. Grace tells them to hide upstairs and out of sight, and this is when it's revealed to us that the servants had died of tuberculosis more than 50 years ago, before telling Grace that she should go talk to the intruders that are upstairs with her children. This is when we finally learn the true twist of the movie. The intruders are performing a seance, attempting to contact the dead after being tormented by spirits, the spirits being Grace and her 2 children, who she had killed before shooting herself. It's a shock to learn the protagonists of the story we've been following have been dead the entire time, and oh boy was it well executed. In at 3, Psycho. The film that started it all. Released in 1960 and directed by Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho follows Marion Crane on the run after stealing $40,000 from her employer. Taking back roads to avoid the fuzz, Marion stops at Bates Motel to seek shelter during a heavy rainstorm. It's here that she meets the charming owner Norman Bates. He invites her for a light dinner before she checks in, and she agrees. As she waits in Norman's home, she overhears an argument between him and his mother. Norman later goes on to reveal that his mother is mentally ill and refuses to let him lead an independent life. Her dinner with Norman leads Marion to have a change of heart, planning to return the money she stole the next morning. However, she sadly doesn't survive that long, as she's slaughtered in the shower by a shadowy female figure. A week after Marion's death, her sister Lila begins to investigate her disappearance, leading her to the Bates Motel. After a series of events, Lila finds herself hiding in the basement to escape from Norman. It is in this moment that the true twist of the film is revealed. Lila finds Mrs. Bates in a chair. Turning her around, we discover she is a mummified corpse. Just as Norman runs in wearing his mother's clothes, a wig, and wielding the kitchen knife he used to kill Marion. In at 2, The Sixth Sense. Arguably one of the most highly regarded plot twists on our list, almost all first-time viewers of this film never saw the ending coming. Nor did I. The Sixth Sense follows a child psychologist, Malcolm Crowe, working with a troubled child haunted by ghosts, Cole Sear.
I see dead people.
To backtrack, the film begins with an altercation between Crowe and one of his former patients, Vincent, who accuses Malcolm of failing him. Vincent shoots Malcolm before turning the gun on himself. We then jump forward in time to the relationship between Malcolm and his wife. It's grown cold and they've become distant. Malcolm is spending most of his time focusing on his sessions with Cole, and his wife occupying herself with work and a new man friend. After a handful of sessions with Cole, Malcolm believes him to be delusional and considers giving up on him, but after going back to listen to old session tapes between himself and Vincent, he hears weeps amongst the white noise, begging for help. Finally believing that there may be some truth to Cole's secret, the film takes us on a supernatural journey following Cole and Malcolm, uncovering the reasons for some of the lingering ghosts. But at the very end of the film, we are finally met with our big reveal. When Malcolm comes home, he finds his wife asleep in a chair with their wedding tape on the TV. In her sleep, she asks him why he left her. He of course said he didn't. It's then that Malcolm comes to the realization that perhaps he did. He thinks back to the conversation he had with Cole about ghosts and realizes that people have been ignoring him, almost like he wasn't even there. He begins to see the cold breath coming out of his wife's mouth, and turning around he discovers the bullet wound in his side, thus confirming to us that he has been dead the entire time. And finally, in at number 1, Saw. Now this is perhaps my favourite plot twist on our list, simply because of how simple yet obvious it was. I mean, looking back, how did we miss this? But let's start at the beginning. Saw begins with 2 men, Lawrence Gordon and Adam, waking up in a bathroom with their ankles chained to the walls. Between the two is a bloody corpse holding a revolver and a cassette player. Both men discover they have tapes on them, informing them of their fate. Adam's tape tells him to escape, whereas Lawrence's tells him to kill Adam. They soon discover a bag containing 2 hacksaws in the toilet. Adam breaks his, attempting to cut through his chains, throwing it away in frustration. Lawrence quickly learns that the hacksaws weren't meant for the chains, they were meant for their feet, forcing Lawrence to cut off his own foot to escape Jigsaw's trap, and shoots Adam in order to save his family, who are being held hostage by a man named Zepp. Zepp enters the bathroom to kill Lawrence, stating that those were his orders, but the still alive Adam overpowers him and kills him. Lawrence crawls out of the now open room in order to find help, leaving Adam chained to the wall. He begins to search Zepp's body for a key, but only finds another tape recording, revealing that Zepp was just another victim following Jigsaw's rules. After this reveal, the corpse in the middle of the room begins to rise up, removing the fake gunshot wound on his head, and revealing himself as John Kramer, aka Jigsaw. He tells Adam that the key for the chains were in the bathtub he first woke up in, and that escape was always available, except, unbeknownst to Adam, the key fell down the drain when he was freaking out when he first woke up, thus sealing his fate. Well, there we have it. What do you guys think? Don't forget to leave me a comment down below telling me what your favourite plot twist is, and while you're down there, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. If you want to continue on this horror binge, make sure to hit that playlist floating above, and until next time, see you later.